All right, so Johnny Booth. I don't know a lot about this other than the fact that my friend Jim Swede from over in Europe said, I need you to check this out. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do it. Here's the thing. I don't know much about what's going on here other than the fact that it was requested by Jim. Johnny Booth, get well soon. That's a very extremely vibrant green get well soon there. All right. We'll find out more about this. I just want to take a look. Johnny Booth Tube has 10,000 subscribers. Came out 2 weeks ago. Westfall Recording Company. That's all I know. Okay, I don't know anything else about this, so let's check this out together. Johnny Booth, Get Well Soon, as presented by, this is Jim Swede's request. So if you really love it, I can't take credit. It's going to be Johnny Booth and, of course, Jim requesting it. So, all right, you ready? All right, I'm going to play my intro, and I'm going to press play. I was about to make a comment that everything so far had been so straightforward. There wasn't a lot of dynamic in it. A lot of very simple chordings. However, they were done in a very aggressive, overwhelming way. So it gave a sense of savagery. Of course, the vocals were extremely harsh and very poignant and to your face. The drumming was a lot of heavy on the low end with some very poignant pops on the top. That singular quarter notes in that hi-hat or that splash into the snare on the halves, and it gave a sense of weight to it, but there wasn't really anything that was taking me into kind of a story feel in the music. It just seemed like this assault, really. And that's okay if that's what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, you love it every minute. But it was when they cut out and all of a sudden, the bass player just starts going off on this funky rendition, and I'm like, wait a minute. There's more to this than meets the eye. These group of people are transformers. We just don't know it yet. Okay, let's get into that transition. I want to hear how this bass just kicks off. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Before we found him, washed ashore. before we let this thing end out, the song is only 3 minutes, 36 seconds. It's going to be a little bit longer reaction than I intended because it is the scariest thing to go up to any musician and say, we need you to be the focal point of this song. And the person of that instrument knows that normally their role is to be the rhythmic or the bass line core of a song, not the person that stands out front, not to be the lead melodic instrument. Go up to the bass player and say, okay, this song, there's half of this song is going to focus on you, and not just have you do a funky little interlude, Mr. Bass Player. We're going to have you go out there and we're going to have you do a run that isn't just walking up and down the scales. We want you to give texture, breaks, rests, dynamic. We want you to give it kind of a funky transition. The timing is going to be a little off on purpose, and we're going to let you go with it. And then the bass player is going to go, the drums are coming with me, and they're like, nope, by yourself. And any musician of any instrument goes, okay, hold on, you want me to by myself? Now, if you're a guitarist, those prima donna egotistalists, they love that stuff. They love it. Drummers love a good solo. Most of the time, bass players love a thing called the groove. You're in the groove, you're with the drums, you're with some kind of dynamic, and you sit in that pocket, and it's layering in this groove, and it's the heartbeat, the emotion of a song. People don't realize your bass player is your heartbeat. He is your dynamic. He or she is the movement. Yes, the tempo and the count is caught by the drums, but the bass player is the soul of your song. And then to tell that soul, we're gonna Casper the Friendly Ghost your butt out there by yourself. You have to carry the whole thing. It is a daunting task because people always think of the bass as being a solitary instrument of the low end. It doesn't have a lot of melodic parts in it. In this case, it does. It does have a harmonic. It does have a melodic sense. It does have a dynamic. It can take you someplace really funky and fun. But this is the part where I've seen other bands do this, and it's great, and then this band does it exceptionally well. When the rest of the ensemble comes back in to join the song, does the bass player go back into the groove? Find that spot where everyone kind of just goes into that flow? No. The band joins in with what the bass player is doing. So as they continue, the bass line is still leading this song. Not the guitar chords, not the drums. The bass continues to lead the melodic sense and direction of the song. I haven't seen that a lot since, bands that were synonymous with bass players, like Rush, like Thin Lizzy, things like that. Primus, where your bass player is iconic and kind of a focal point. So to do that in this song gives a dynamic that a lot of people aren't ready for, and a dynamic that is really fresh and interesting because you don't hear it very often. So I'm going to go back to this part where the bass player is just throwing it down. And I want everyone to kind of feel this. When they come back in, the bass player does this kind of solo, singular focus drive, telling the story by himself. When the band joins in, he doesn't get in line with them. They get in line with him, which is awesome. Drums are back in. The bass is still primary in the mix. right, so there you go. Kevin Owens on drums. Johnny Booth, get well soon. I'm interested in this. This is very, very different. I didn't know much about them. I'm obviously subscribed to them now. I see this collapse in the key of fireworks. That sounds crazy. The ladder. Okay, so we're gonna have to check out more of this band. So thank you very, very much for this one. Yeah, this one comes from Jim Swede. I enjoy hearing something that's kind of different, something that steps away from what a lot of other bands are doing. Remember the first time you heard a band do a breakdown and you were like, oh my God, I've never heard anybody do that. Can't say that anymore, can you? First time you heard a band do a ridiculously half count breakdown, you're like, wow, that's new. The first time you heard Lorna Shore, whoa, what is that guy doing? Speaking in tongues to farm animals, you know, things like that. When a band does something that makes you go, that's different, that's a good thing. And there you go. Johnny Booth. Kind of reminds you of House of Protection, right? You know how that band does things completely in a different way? Gotta have that stuff, man. Granted, I love stuff that I'm familiar with, and that's the kind of stuff that makes my playlist. This is the kind of stuff that makes me want to share it with my friends. Like, have you heard this? And yeah, this is the kind of thing you share with people when you're like, ooh, I need to show so-and-so this. So awesome. All right, there you go. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. Check them out. Johnny Booth, all of their information will be in the description below. And with that, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.